Moments earlier, the children were playing in the schoolyard. It was around 4 p.m. when the strike came in. But they weren't there because classes had just let out, but rather because that school, like many others, had been converted into a shelter.
ليش عم تبكي؟ وين ماما؟ خلص ما فيها شي ماما. ماما الحمد لله كويسة ما فيها شي. يلا عندي حالك. خليك معهم.
The man walks around the corner and speaks to a woman who says she has shrapnel in her foot. Not all survived that strike or the 9 others that hit schools in Idlib province that same day, many that had been housing those fleeing the violence elsewhere. Hibba, a media activist, walks through the school, the classrooms converted into living spaces. We think we are safe, but then the warplanes come and take everything from us, she says. Russia has rejected calls for a ceasefire, stating that would be a capitulation to terrorists. And yet, the Russian and Syrian regime bombardment of Idlib has hardly been confined to the front lines or the armed groups, but rather systematically targeting the civilian population, forcing even more people to flee, and now intensifying attacks on Idlib city itself. On the edge of a small cluster of tents, not far from Turkey's closed border, one extended family moved underground into a man-made cave originally dug out to shelter cows and goats. They did not have enough money to buy a tent. There are around 45 of them living here like this, after spending days shoveling out feces and filth. When the kids sleep, we women take turns looking over them to make sure there are no snakes or scorpions, Ibrahim says. They're scared, it's miserable, but where else to go? Half the children are sick. They are barely able to get medicine. There's no heat inside the cave. Food is cooked outdoors where the children warm themselves. All they yearn for is their home, days without fear. A concept that seems so foreign, a distant dream for the millions trapped in Idlib, in a war that from the onset had no rules, no real front lines, and where safety is little more than a shattered illusion.